Welcome everybody. Hero, see all you guys amazing pro members. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you guys here tonight to introduce the bear market survival guide to the tackle team. It's something that we have been hard at work at, ladies and gentlemen. Put in about 2 years of research and data and all that jazz, and we're very excited to present to you the bear market survival guide system. No, you are showing the wrong presentation there. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody out. First, did everybody get in okay? Everybody get in the webinar okay? Everybody's good there? Didn't have too many issues? Awesome. Well, guys, let me take a moment, and yes, I am going to turn over the mic here, but let me take a moment to introduce a very, very good friend of mine, your presenter here tonight. Many of you know Coach Noah, and if you guys know Coach Noah from Tackle Trading, give me a heck yes. Noah's amazing. Noah's awesome. Let's welcome Noah to the stage here the proper way. We love Noah Davidson. Noah has been an educator, a trader, an investor for about 20 years now. He's taught tens and thousands of people around the world how to invest, and I am so happy and so honored to introduce my good friend to you guys, Coach Noah Davidson. Coach Noah, how you doing today? Oh, you're still on mute, my friend.
Oh, I'm muted, but I am fantastic, Matt. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Awesome. Well, Noah, I'm going to turn the time over to you, and like I promised in the halftime report earlier today, I'm going to just step aside and watch you do your thing, and I am looking forward to seeing what you got prepared for our amazing team here. And guys, once again, welcome to the event, and hopefully you get a tremendous amount out of this, as I know I have, and as well as all the other team members over there at Tackle. So Noah, take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody out here tonight. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here. I mean, so many names that I recognize, a lot of our pro members, a lot of names that are new. And I just want to congratulate everybody for being here tonight, for making the decision to come join us here for this bear market survival guide kind of inaugural launch. And I'm thrilled, I'm excited. And again, I want to congratulate you on being here. You've made an awesome choice. Now, first order of business, as you all know, is an appropriate disclaimer. We're professionals, and again, we understand that trading and investing does have risk. In fact, I'm willing to bet that's one of the reasons you're here tonight, is because we all know that that bear market is looming out there, and we know that if we learn how to control and manage that risk and understand it appropriately, that we can make better decisions with our money. And so first we need to understand the risk so that we can control it. And we have a very special night planned out for you where we're going to cover a lot of ground, and we're going to do so quickly. And a lot of you out there I know are brand new to us, and you haven't met us before. And I know a lot of you have been around, and we all know each other really, really well. And so we all know we have a little saying here. You guys probably can reiterate it for me. When I say trust the, you guys can finish that sentence for me, I'm sure. Trust the process. You guys all know that, don't you? So we are going to be covering a handful of different topics tonight. And some of the things we're going to be covering are, one, why we created the bear market survival guide. We're going to talk about that briefly again, why we decided that this was necessary in this market right now. And we have put together a map to help us with the how we are going to learn to protect our assets, how we're going to be able to spot that bear market coming, and really just how we're going to learn how to take action here so that we can, again, protect our assets and profit from the panic. And then last but not least, we are going to make you an incredible offer tonight. We are going to do a little bit of show and tell. And if you stay till the end, we got a special treat for you. We have Tyler, the Bear Whisperer Craig, in the house here with us tonight. And it's going to be fantastic. We're going to get to interview Tyler at the end here and just crawl into the mind of the genius behind the bear market survival guide. So, you guys ready? You excited? You guys ready to jump in and take a deep dive into this stuff? All right, fantastic. Here we go. We're going to start with why, as always. And again, The reason we created this bear market survival guide for you is, number one, we want to protect our community. We want to make sure that we're all safe, and we want to make sure that 100% of our community know how to not only protect their assets, but to make money in a bear market when that downturn finally does come. Because we know that if we can share with you the secrets of the pros, that you're going to be able to better protect yourselves. And again, you'll benefit from the next downturn with us. We also know that the masses out there, not everybody participates in a bear market. We know that plenty of people participate on the wrong side of a bear market, but not a lot of people know how to make money on the downside. And so I know some of you already have a good idea of how to do that, and some of you are getting to the point where you're going to know how to do that, and a lot of us are going to be learning how to do that for the first time. And so we are going to be talking about, again, not only how to protect and cover our assets, but how to profit on that downturn. And that's why we're here tonight, is so that we can learn to control that risk and mitigate that risk to the downside and benefit from the energy that the bears bring into the market. And so that's our big why. Just want to keep everybody here safe and make lots of money together. Now, how we are going to do that and why we're going to do that, it has a little bit to do with what we know about the markets. The markets are a tremendous wealth generator. You guys probably know this. The stock market over the last 100 years has been one of the top wealth generators out there. We've got this idea that over the last 100 years, statistically speaking, that about 10% ROI per year. Some years we see 8, some years we see 10, some years we see 2. One of the biggest problems with those consistency is the consistency with those rates of return, because the markets are random. So we want to learn how to make it more consistent for us, so we can protect ourselves against the downturns, make money when the market's roaring like it is right now, and again, kind of smooth out our rate of return. And last but not least, we know that the market goes through cycles. I think you guys know this, right? I mean, you guys are pretty aware that the market goes through these big cycles. And we know that the market goes through bullish cycles. We also know that the market goes through bearish cycles. You can probably think of a few recent bear markets in your memory, and the kind of how scary they were for you. So we know that the market moves in cycles, and ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the experts out there are starting to project that we are nearing the top of a bull market cycle, and that the bears are somewhere out there around the corner. Now, whether it's this year, next year, the year after that, we don't know. We know that we got those bubble conditions forming. We also know that the market will come to an end, and what goes up must comes down. And I want you guys to take a little look back at history with me for a moment. You guys see this page here, this Wall Street Journal, or this Brooklyn Daily Eagle, excuse me. Okay, this is awesome. I love this slide for a couple of reasons. One, I want you to notice the headlines. Not just the Wall Street panic headlines, but notice the rest of the headlines. There is literally nothing new under the sun here. We have got fires occurring out west. We have a ferry accident. We have special interest groups giving money to create tariffs. We have people protesting the president, the to-be president, by halting his train, by parking cars on the tracks. And we really see that there is nothing new under the sun here. And it's an interesting reminder to us that we know that people are the same now as they were back then. And if we can look to history, it can be a tremendous teacher for us and help us see the steps and the processes the market goes through that help us spot and identify what happens when we see the market top out, but also what happens when the markets go down. So we're going to take a little look at history here together, just so we understand where we've been, so that we can better decide where to go in the future. Now, you've all heard of the crash in 1929, right? My grandpa used to tell me stories about the Great Depression. And it is, amazing to me how that one single crash, the market dropped 86%, has remained in our general consciousness. Here we are almost 100 years later, not quite. About every 10 years or so, the markets correct. Here we see, again, not quite 10 years, but in 1937, the Feds tightened their belt and the market dropped another 60%. And then we had a World War II boom, and right after the war, market dropped in 1946, 30%, boom. So we're starting to see a pattern again, about every 10 years or so, the market goes into a correction. They had what we call the forgettable crash in 1968 to 1970. At the same time we were landing, putting a man on the moon, the market crashed 36% over the course of about 2 years there. And we fast forward to the 70s, not quite 10 years, but we had a real big problem with stagflation. The Fed's monetary policy was all over the place. We had a 48% crash. And then we had another one in 1980 as Paul Volcker, the Fed tightened the monetary policy, and we saw a 27% correction. And then in 1987, this is the first real market crash I personally remember, because I remember my dad lost his job when that crash hit Main Street, not just Wall Street. And you guys can all remember the dot-com bubble, year 2000, Y2K, 49% down, big drop. And some of you still might have this painful memory of 2008, that housing bubble, the financial crisis of all crisis. I mean, some of you are still really, even the thought of it kind of like puts you into the fetal position, like, oh man, it was awesome if you were on the right side of it. But if you were on the wrong side of it, how many of you recall what happened to your 401ks? What happened to your IRAs? What happened to your investments? I mean, it not only hit Wall Street, it hit Main Street, and it created a problem. And I'm noticing a trend here that the average drop is getting bigger and bigger. And over the last 100 years, the market's averaged about every 10 years or so, a 45% correction that lasts about 2 years. And they happen fast, they catch people unaware. And what kills me is if the Wall Street experts are so great at this sometimes, how is it that they don't predict these bubbles? They don't see them coming. They get caught unawares and the market panics. Now, you guys are going to learn with us how to see that coming. And just to put that into perspective, in 2008, that housing bubble, that 57% crash, took about $6 trillion out of the market. Now, I want you to consider the valuations of the market today. We're valued much higher, aren't we? We're a lot higher, I know that. And here we are at these all-time highs, and if we saw a similar 50% drop in the market, that would be the equivalent of about $11.5 trillion that'll get wiped out of like 401k investments. And so we know that inaction and inactivity is going to rob you blind if you do nothing. So I want you guys to kind of look at this picture here, and I want you to think about what's going on here. Okay, we know that bear markets can be violent. We know that when the bears come, they got sharp teeth and claws, and that the sheeple are going to be caught unawares and unprepared. And I want you to think about this. Which would you rather be? Would you rather be the sheeple in this picture, or would you rather be the bear? I know if you, like me, you want to be the hunter, not the hunted, right? Okay, so we are going to learn to become bears, and we're going to be doing it together here. And I think it's really, really exciting because really, you can feel good knowing that any investor, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, or even advanced, any investor can survive a stock market crashes by using the Ultimate Bear Market Survival Guide, because it includes all of Wall Street's best kept secrets and for portfolio protection. And one of the cool things about the Bear Market Survival Guide is we give you the secret sauce. We don't hold anything back. Tyler put a lot of amazing work into this. And what we're going to be covering to help you guys understand what the Bear Market Survival Guide is all about is we've mapped out a solution for you. We understand the problem. Now we are going to talk about a solution. So we've created a map for you and an action plan for you. And as we go through this, you're going to learn, of course, that the M is going to help us spot the top of the market. So the M stands for market, map, M-A-P. M is going to help us spot the top of the market so we can be ready to be a bear. A is for assets. When we see the signs coming, we're going to basically, when we see the brake lights coming on the market, we're going to start lightening up our positions and preparing to protect our assets and learning to buy insurance so that we can protect ourselves on the way down and even profit on the way down. So we got the M is for the markets, A is for assets, and P is for profit. We're going to profit from the panic. And we know that when the bears come out, that the average person in the market starts to panic, that the market gets scared, that fear coupled with the greed of the bears makes markets move down quickly. And there's a huge opportunity coming for us, guys. This is kind of weird, and I know a lot of you will get this, but we know that a bear market's coming. We know that when it comes, it goes fast, right? So we know that if we can take action, that there's a huge opportunity for us to make money here, because where does all that money go when the markets crash? So we are going to go through what goes into spotting the top of the bear market. We're going to first look at the market valuations, help us understand some of the fundamental metrics that we need to measure and understand. We're going to also discuss the role of interest rates and how the Federal Reserve contributes to building bubbles and then popping them also. So we're going to talk about monetary policy and interest rates, and then we're going to discuss the technicals and learn how to identify the patterns that help us know it's time to take action here. Okay, so here's what we are going to be looking at. First of all, are we all aware that the market is in a bubble? We know we are, right? Absolutely, okay. We know we're overvalued, yet how many of you are still bullish right now? I know I am. The market's been running up and we always trade the trend, but we know we're in a bubble. So how do we know we're in a bubble? What are some of the things we look for that help us know we're in a bubble? Well, we can look to valuations for the market. It's overextended, it's had a good run, but it really comes down to how much money you get out for the amount of money you put in. PE ratio, you got it exactly, Rena, you got it. So we're going to talk about PE ratios for a moment. I'm going to give you guys a real quick example. This is one of my favorite examples because it's so simple. I want you to imagine with me a little jack in the box. Can you guys see my drawing on the screen here okay? So I want you to picture a little jack in the box here. And all good jack in the boxes have a little crank handle on the side. And when you turn that little crank handle, a dollar bill pops out of that jack in the box. So we get a $1 bill that pops out of that jack in the box. And over here on the right, we have another equal jack in the box, okay? And this little jack in the box has got the exact same things going on here. And we got the little crank handle, exact same kind of crank handle. In fact, these are identical jack in the boxes. And when you crank this one out, guess what comes out here? You guessed it, $1. So we've got $1 that pops out of the jack in the box. Now I want you to picture and imagine that both of these jack in the boxes are on the shelf at the store. And they both have price tags hanging off of the jack in the box that let us know how much it costs. Because when it comes to investing, we know that we have to put money in to get money out, right? So we have to buy these jack in the boxes first before we can crank them and get our dollar out. So we crank that. This one over here on the left, I want you to imagine, costs $32. Okay, costs $32. And the jack in the box over here on the right costs $16. And these are PE, price to earnings ratio, branded jack in the boxes. So what that means here, guys, is to get the dollar out of this jack in the box, you got to put $32 in. To get the dollar out of this jack in the box, it only takes 16, because what that means and how we determine this is you simply take the price of the assets and you divide it by the earnings they produce. So do we understand this concept? Which one of these is a better value here? No doubt it's the one on the right, 16 bucks, okay? So we know we've got a great value here on the right, and now we have a better understanding of PE ratios. Well, wouldn't it be cool if we could do that for the whole market? You're right, it would be cool, we can. So let me show you what's coming next here. We got the Shiller PE ratio. Now, Robert Shiller is a Nobel Prize Award winner in economics, and he created the Shiller's PE ratio, also known as the CAPE ratio, cyclically adjusted PE ratio. And we can track the average value of the price compared to earnings for the whole S&P 500 for over the last 100 years. And if you look closely here, you can see that this starts back here before 1890. This thing starts back in like 1880. And here we are over here today, 2018, present day. And this scale goes from 0 up to about 45, okay? And we can look over the last 100 years and very easily identify that the mean, the middle price here for the market valuations, is somewhere around 16. We can also see that if it ever gets out here above like 26, 27, 28, we've only see it get that high a couple of times in history, okay? And we all know what happened back in 1929 here, Black Tuesday, and the market was valued, the price to earnings ratio for the whole market was about 30. And we look back here to the year 2000, the dot-com bubble, and that dot-com bubble, the PE ratio was clear out here near 45, I mean, insanely high. Now, I want you to think about what happened in 2008. the PE ratio was out here around 27 or 28, call it 28 or so. And the market crashed in a spectacular fashion because it was not only overvalued, there was some weakness out there and some problems with those subprime loans and things. Now, I want you to look at where we are today. This is a recent snapshot, and it is showing us at 33.14. What does that mean? What does that mean about the market right now? Are we overvalued a little, or are we overvalued a lot? We're overvalued a lot, okay? In fact, by the way, when PE ratios get out above 30, that's the general consensus that they're overvalued. So we know we're in a bubble. There's no doubt about it. So are you with me so far? Yes? Okay. So that is the price to earnings valuation for the whole market. And we're getting a very clear picture now that the market is overvalued, no doubt about it. Now, one of the things behind that valuation, by the way, and the market being this high, is not just that everybody's jumping in and buying stuff. We know that the part of it's just caused by inflationary pressures. They've been printing a lot of money. They've been making money pretty cheap to borrow. And so we know that part of the reason the market's rising is because of inflation, not just demand for securities. So we're going to talk about how interest rates play a role here in that building of bubbles and then the popping of bubbles. And we're going to look at that monetary policy, and it's going to paint a really clear picture for us. So take a look at this graph. This goes back to 1986. Now, how many of you remember the 80s? I was a pretty young kid at the time, but I remember the 80s, and I remember hearing terms on the news like stagflation and interest rates and savings and loan scandals and all kinds of crazy stuff back in the 80s. Well, I want you to look at the dark blue line here, which represents the federal funds rate. And then the light blue line represents the S&P. So the dark blue line here is the federal funds rate. And they cranked that thing out. It was all over the place back in the 80s. I mean, the whole stagflation mess. And we saw 18% interest rates all the way down to 10% interest rates. I mean, they were changing them weekly. And there was a little bit of craziness, but I want you to notice where they peaked out. 1987, interest rates were really high. What happened next? Market crashed. Okay. Well, the market starts to smooth out, and the monetary policy got a little bit more normal. And from Alan Greenspan as chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank forward, we've seen some pretty consistent behavior from the Feds. So I want you to notice out here in 1999, interest rates got out around 6.5%. And what happened then? As they raised those interest rates up, market crashed. Boom. Okay. Now, again, look back to 06. And again, you'll notice that they raised the rates again. They got them up to just shy of 6%, 5.5% or so. And the market slowed down. We see a contraction in the economy, and boom, another top comes in. Okay. So we're seeing a pattern now, right? Well, how many of you have an idea of what the Feds are doing with their policy right now? They kept interest rates artificially low clear up through 2015-16. And I want you guys to notice something. The amount of interest that it took to create the bubble and pop it, what's happening to the rate of the interest rates that's causing the market to top out? They're getting lower, okay? So I want you to keep that picture in mind here as we move forward. So we see that picture, we get that, right? Okay. This is a snapshot at the federal funds rate from 2000 to present date, okay? And again, you'll notice that as the market got a little overheated in 2000, the Feds raised rates, and there came the crash till 2003. They lowered rates to stimulate the economy. They kept rates nice and low. And then as the market started to heat up, 2005, 2006, 2007, they started raising rates to cool off the economy. They got them out just around 5% and change. And what happened next? Boom, it dropped. And then they kept us on this zero interest rate policy for a long, long time, which they've never done this before in history. They kept interest rates down at zero, and they were also printing money. So they didn't just have interest rates low, they printed a whole lot of money. And then fast forward to 2016, they started raising rates, and here we are present day at 2%. By the way, do we know what the Feds are forecasting over the next year, year and a half? We know they're going to be raising rates. So we're not going to be surprised, by the way, if we a year from now are seeing rates near 3.5%. Okay, and we know that as rates rise, it cools off the economy. And my question for you is, we're seeing a downtrend with lower highs. How high do you think it really needs to go before the market hits that top? That's the question we all want to know, isn't it? Okay, so wouldn't it be awesome if we were in a conversation about this all the time? That we could follow things like the inverted yield curve and other stuff and keep track of the interest rates and the monetary policy and the Fed speak, so that we were doing this together and not just trying to guess on our own? Well, that's what we're doing here, right? Is we're learning how to manage those things. So we've talked about valuations, PE ratios. We've talked about interest rates. Now we're going to talk about technicals, okay? And technicals are awesome here, by the way. And I'm just blown away by the turnout here tonight, by the way. Congratulations on being here. For those of you who joined us just a few minutes late, I am so happy to see all you here. And again, I recognize so many names. We're going to talk about patterns here. Okay, this is a lot of fun. Now, this is, you know, a little rotary dialer. Some of you, this picture might be lost on if you're young enough, but we have the old, you know, rotary dialer telephone. How many of you remember those? I know I do. Well, we have this little concept here, dial M for murder. They're calling from in the house. You guys know the horror stories. Well, how do we spot a bear market coming? The first thing we're going to see, the first thing that's going to dial in is slowing momentum. Okay, I know a lot of you know what slowing momentum is. By shout out, if you know what slowing momentum is in the chat, type in slowing momentum. And if you don't know what slowing momentum is yet, don't worry about it. We're going to see it in a minute here. Okay, perfect. Now, the first sign we're going to see is slowing momentum. The next sign that's going to really put us on high alert is a double top. When we see the double top, this is when we start posturing, picking up our insurance, making sure we're lightening up our bullish positions. And it really helps us understand that the market's slowing down. And the next thing we're going to watch out for is a pattern. I know a lot of you know this pattern already, but it always repeats bearing. You know, it always bears repeating, excuse me. You guys will get the moral of the story pretty soon. M is for murder. When we see the double top, we know that the market is slowing down to the point, and if we see it form a double bottom and we see that M pattern, we know it's time to take action. Because when it breaks support, step 4, it's when the market takes its first big drop. Now, I don't know if you know much about market psychology, but when the market takes that first big drop, everybody is in denial. They're shell-shocked a little bit because the market took a big hit. But you're always going to hear them say things like, buy the dip. And you're going to see people think out there, oh, that's great, it makes it cheaper. But if the market's in denial and we're really seeing the bear market start to show its teeth, what happens next is another pattern that a lot of you already know, but again, you're going to recognize quickly. It's called the kiss of death. And when we see that pattern, we must take action if we want to make money. It's imperative. So we look at that kiss of death, because what happens after the kiss of death is the market goes into panic and it experiences this incredible vertigo where everybody just gets stuck like a deer in the headlights. So we're going to walk through these patterns and we're going to take a close look at them, and you're going to see it. So here we go. The first thing we're looking for is slowing momentum. Now, this is a chart from back in 2006. You can see the market broke out above that 1330 and it rose up to 1465. It had a really good run. And the market kept trending up, but it only moved from 1465 to 1560. The distance between those peaks is starting to slow down. You with me? Okay, so when we see that market slowing down, it's the warning sign. The market's slowing down, it's tapping on the brakes. What we watch for when we see slowing momentum that we're going to be very vigilant in looking for is the double top, that M for murder. Okay, now some of you already see the pattern and some of you don't quite see it yet. But when we see that double top, we know, dun, 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 that the M stands for murder. And when we see that, it becomes really, really clear. How many of you, by the way, can see the pattern already? You see it, right? Okay. How many of you can't yet see it? And that's okay if you haven't had your eyes trained yet. Well, if you can't see it yet, there's the double top. Here's the double bottom. And if you look closely, you can see that letter M, okay? We are pattern. Yeah, don't you wish you'd known this back in 2007? Don't you wish you'd known this back in 2000? Because you might not have heard this. How many of you ever heard this statement? The crash of 2007 and 8 was the single largest redistribution of wealth in the history of the world. Where did all that money go? Out of the hands of the people who didn't know what they were doing, into the hands of the people who did know what they're doing. So we see the M, right? Well, when we see the slowing momentum, we see the M, this is the time where you're working with us in the Bear Market Survival Guide. We are going to be talking about how to get your insurance on your portfolio, how to reduce your bullish posture, how to basically make sure that you have yourself protected so that in the event that that support zone breaks, we're going to be ready to take action here, okay? So if we see that support zone break here, boom, it starts clearing out stop losses. It starts forcing traders to close trade, and the market will take a big dramatic drop, and it happens quickly. It doesn't happen slow, happens quickly. And again, the market initially is going to be in denial because, oh, the good times will always roll. But after we see that support break, boom, we're no longer in an uptrend. We're starting to see lower lows come in, okay? Well, I know you're waiting for the kiss, right? Okay, well, what happens is the market's still in denial, so some people start buying it up, but what the pattern that's coming down the pipeline here is called the kiss of death. Now, this is probably one of the prettiest slides I've ever seen in a PowerPoint ever. That is just a dramatic kiss of death. But you guys know what's coming. And again, some of you, this is new, and some of you, you've seen this before. We've got that kiss of death. Bum, bum, bum. When we see this pattern form, where old support can become new resistance, and we get that confirmation, if you don't take action, you're going to miss out. You're going to get stuck like a deer in the headlights because the market moves so fast, it's going to make your head spin. Like vertigo, it's going to make your head spin, and people freeze. They panic. They don't know what to do because the market starts to get scared and it drops hard. How many of you can think back to 2008, how quickly the market dropped? It dropped fast. I mean, it happened so quick. Over the course of 18 months, the market tanked. So when we see that kiss of death, we know what's coming next, don't we? We know what's coming next, okay? And I hear people showing some things like, you know, you want to short this, you want to buy puts. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm not going to do it by myself. Noah's not going to save you, Aaron. Tyler Craig, the Bear Whisperer, is going to save us all, okay? We're going to have a great time doing this together, watching the market form that slowing momentum, watching them for pattern, form, watching the breaking of support. We understand the valuations. We understand the interest rates. And when we see that kiss of death, we're not just going to have vertigo. We're not going to be just based off of fear. We're not going to have fear here because we're going to be in this together, learning how to cover our assets and not only protect our assets from that drop, we're going to learn to profit here in a moment. So by now, we have to have our assets covered, okay? By the time we see that M for murder and the breaking of support and that kiss of death, we need to have all of our assets covered. And you'll actually kind of come back. Let me look at this real quick here. The market dropped 52% from the kiss of death. It was 57% from top to bottom. So you could have protected a good percentage of your 401k, your IRA, if you'd just taken action. And to cover our assets, there's lots of ways to do it. And in the Bear Market Survival Guide group, we're going to cover all of that. But one of the most common ways to do it, especially for beginners and for new and intermediate traders, is to simply use options. So we're going to learn to use calls and puts to actually help us get our insurance. We're going to protect ourselves first so we can profit second. And we're going to know how to insure our portfolio with puts and actually buy long-term insurance. You can do longer-term insurance. You can buy insurance 6 months at a time, a year at a time. And after going through the Bear Market Survival Guide training myself, I learned some really cool tricks from Tyler that I honestly hadn't really thought about before. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years. That's how good the training is, so thorough. And we're going to show you a pattern here in a moment where you can check out your portfolio. And you're going to see a graph that looks like the letter V. And that's a pretty picture when we see that letter V. The V is for victory. And when you see that, you're going to feel empowered and you're not going to have any fear at all. So to understand how we protect our portfolio, first we need to understand options. By the way, how many of you have already traded options? Okay, if you haven't traded options, I want you to type in the chat, not yet. I know some of you are new and you haven't traded options yet. Okay, not yet. Okay, good. Well, you're going to want to, okay? And we know that there's two different kinds of options, that there are call options and there are put options. Now, you guys want to know an interesting fact about these slides? Okay, those telephones apparently belonged to Audrey Hepburn, and they were sold at auction. So we have Audrey Hepburn's telephones here. They are awesome, by the way. Random side note. Okay. The reason I have telephone receivers on there is because we're going to use them as memory hooks. Calls are what we buy when we think the market's going to go up, because a call gives us the right to buy a stock at a set price on or before a set date. So you'll remember this easily, because when we call, we pick up. Calls up, we pick up. And puts are the right to sell the stock. And it's at a set price on or before a set date. And we are going to put the receiver down, put down. So now you know calls up, puts down, okay? Calls give us the right to buy. So when I say call, in your head say buy, call. You guys got it, call, buy. Okay, type buy in the chat, call. I want to see buy in the chat, okay, with confidence, come on, call, buy. Okay, and put gives us the right to put, sell, put, sell, okay? So we understand what a call is, we understand what a put is. Well, puts are used as insurance. And one of the things you're going to learn about is there's lots of options to choose from. And one of the challenges for new traders is when you want to protect your assets, you need to know which options to use. You need to know which puts to use, what expiration dates, what delta rule. You also can learn how to pay for those puts by learning to sell covered calls. You can sell calls to get the money to pay for the puts, which means you can get your insurance for free. And that's awesome. So I want you to look at an option chain. Again, a lot of you already know this, but some of you are new. And we look at this options chain, and one of the biggest problems people have with learning options is just this simple. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of options. And we can look over here on the left, that's the side where the calls are. And you can look over here on the right, that's the side where the puts are. And in the middle here, you can see the strike prices, and we can see what the strike prices are and how many days there are till expiration. And then over here on the left, we can see those expiration dates, the days that those options expire. And over here on the right, we can see some implied volatility. Now, it's important to get the right insurance policy, okay? And you can protect those assets. And the general idea here is that we can buy insurance more time than we need. We can buy insurance 6 months, a year at a time when the volatility is low, and we can make sure we're picking up the right options, and then we can sell covered calls to pay for it. And we can, again, work on keeping the cost of our insurance down low to cheap or free, or again, just control the cost of that and have coverage so that if the market does go down, our assets are covered. Now, when you look at the option chain in and of itself, all the choices of expiration date, that makes your head hurt a little bit because you have so many choices. And when you look at the open options chain, now you've got every strike price laid out, all the bid and the ask prices. And again, we have lots of choices to make when it comes to buying the right insurance. So part of the bear market survival guide is to make sure that you have an exact formula to follow, you know, which delta to get, you know, how you want to buy out of the money about 10%. You're going to learn all the rules and the steps and the processes. And you're going to buy more time than you need so that you don't suffer from too much time decay. So we're not going to worry about the confusion right now. We know that when left to your own devices, that can be intimidating, but when you have the right guidance and you have a good support group around you, it makes it a lot easier for you to pull the trigger and know which option to buy. So we have a good understanding of calls and puts, basic concepts, and the real key to the bear market survival guide is knowing how to use those put options to protect and profit. Protect your portfolio first, and then to profit in the downturn. We're going to protect our assets, okay? So we've got to know how to do that. Now, when it comes to protecting our assets, I want to paint a picture for you. This is a risk graph of just a long stock. By the way, how many of you guys have money in a 401k, or you own mutual funds, or you own individual stocks, okay, or you own ETFs? Well, you guys, this is what your risk graph looks like. If the market moves up on the risk graph, and you can actually see here on the bottom y-axis, it shows the price of the index, and then the profits and losses are displayed above and below that line. So if it's in the green, it's in the profit. If it's in the red, it's a loss. So if the market starts to go down from the current rates, and this is using the SPY, by the way, you can actually see that you would start to incur losses. And if the market's moving up, you're going to make money. So it's great as long as the market's going up, But what happens to people when the market takes that sudden turn, the breaks the support, you see the kiss of death, and then it drops like a rock? What part of the risk graph do people end up on? They end up on the wrong side of the risk graph, okay? And we don't want that. And I know some of you have already experienced the terror of losing half your life savings, okay? And that's what happens when people are left to their own devices. They're left exposed to the risk of the market, and that turns the 401k into the 201k, and it delays your retirement, and it causes people stress, and it's not a good feeling, okay? Now, I want you to look at the graph on the right. This is what a put option looks like. When I buy a put option, my risk is fixed to what I spend, but when the market goes down, in this case, you can see it going down 260, 250, 240, what is happening to those put options? We're making money, right? We're actually profiting from the downturn, okay? So we can learn to buy insurance on our individual stocks. We can learn to buy insurance on our ETFs. We can learn to buy insurance on, again, anything we own, any asset we own that has options. We can protect it with protective puts. It will save your bacon, Marcus. That is for sure. It can also be done on your entire portfolio. How many of you want to have Tyler Craig show you exactly how to do a beta weighted delta hedge and make sure you have the exact right amount of insurance? Okay, so you can cover your asset. Now, you can buy just enough insurance so you don't lose, but you've got a chance to buy more insurance than you need, so when the market crashes, you actually make money. So what's going to happen here is we're going to combine these two risk graphs together, and we're going to imagine that our stock positions, our entire portfolio is the long stock risk graph, because that's what a portfolio looks like when you own stocks, and mutual funds and ETFs and your 401ks and IRAs. But when you have the ability to buy protective puts, and by the way, Tyler shows you how to do this so you can protect your 401k, your mutual funds, and things that aren't necessarily in a trading account. He shows you how to tabulate the exact amount of insurance you need, no matter what you have, which is pretty cool. But when we combine the protective put with the long position for the bullish market, we actually get this V-shaped risk graph, okay? Now that V-shaped risk graph should make you feel pretty good about things, because what happens when the market goes up? You win. What happens when the market goes down? You win. You see, the bear market survival guide, ladies and gentlemen, is a win-win situation for all of us, because you learn how to hedge. You learn how to hedge your bets, and you can learn how to use the covered calls to pay for those protective puts so you can get that insurance at low cost, and you know how to manage it, which is all amazing stuff. That V is for victory. That V is a massive hedge for your portfolio. Now, the question you all should be having in your minds right now is, how much of a hedge do you need? And if you don't know that answer, that means you need to join us for the Bear Market Survival Guide so you can be part of the team. So you can be part of the training and part of the team so that you can know exactly how much hedge you need for your portfolio. Because depending on the size and the shape of your portfolio and how you have it allocated really determines how much insurance you need to buy to get that V-shaped risk graph. Are you with me? So when you have that hedge, by the way, how much easier is it to sleep at night? It's pretty easy, right? You don't stress about the markets when you know how to hedge. See, that's where education and knowledge really help mitigate and get rid of that fear. And so we have no fear moving forward here. So the next step, once we've protected ourselves with that big old hedge, is how to profit from the panic. Now, guys, we've already said it once before. If you wait too long, you're gonna miss it. If you see that M for murder and it breaks support and you didn't take action, you're gonna miss it. If you see that kiss of death forming and you don't take action here, you're gonna miss out, because there is a huge opportunity for us to make money here, okay? And if you wait too long, just like this picture of the Armada, it's gonna be too late. So I'm gonna show you guys how we're going to map out and profit from the panic. And we're going to know how to do that, again, with protective put options. And then we're going to talk about forecasting out what the market could do in a crash and what kinds of returns we could get. So this is a slide that I took right from the Bear Market Survival Guide itself. And Tyler is an amazing trainer and presenter, and he just does such a beautiful job explaining things. He talked about the word crisis. Now, back in 2008, when we were in the subprime meltdown, we had a financial crisis on our hands. And in Chinese, the word crisis is made from two characters, okay? And we can learn a valuable lesson here when we understand how different cultures look at a crisis. The first character of the word crisis in Chinese means danger. And we know that there is a clear and present danger in the market. We know the market's overvalued. We know that the cycle will come to an end, the market will crash. But that danger presents an opportunity. The second character of the word crisis in Chinese is opportunity. So we have a dangerous opportunity. And again, when we know what to do and when to do it, what is danger for everybody else becomes a huge opportunity for us here. And we're going to see some numbers here that are going to make you feel excited. And they're hard not to make, you're going to smile. You can't help it, okay? Because we're going to look back at history first, and then we're going to forecast what kind of correction could get us. So look back. We all remember 2008, right? We all remember 2008, okay? Well, if you had watched that chart and you saw that kiss of death, and now you know how the pattern works, you can see it, right? If you had parlayed just $5,000 into put options, and the market dropped 40% from the time you did it, and again, we didn't get all 52%, we just got a portion of it, right? We got 40% drop in the market. That $5,000 turns into $25,000. Now remember, how long did it take the market to crash? Less than 18 months, right? I mean, it was fast. So could you imagine getting a 400% return ROI on your money because you knew what to do and when to do it and you took action back in 2008 there? Absolutely, okay? Well, fast forward a little bit, back to 2011. How many of you remember the Greek debt crisis, the European debt crisis that caused the market to drop hard? Oh yeah, okay, just a while back, not that long ago. Well, if we look back and we parlayed a $5,000 investment into put options then when we got the signal, the market dropped just 20%. That would have been turning $5,000 into $12,000, and that's 140% return, isn't it? Okay. Now again, that's just using $5,000. Now I want you to imagine for a moment, what if you multiplied that by 2? Or you multiplied that number by 3? Okay, or 10 for that matter. What kind of rates of return are you getting for that short period of time? Markets take a long time to go up. The old saying is that the bulls take the stairs and then the bears take the elevator. They just jump out the window, boom. The market goes down quick. Well, again, what if you had multiplied this by 2? What if you'd gotten twice as much or 3 times as much? You still get 140% return. That's fat money. So when we see that kiss goodbye, we benefit when we take action. Now, I want you to fast forward. Here we are, 2018, biggest bull market in history. I mean, we are seeing the market hit these all-time highs, just off this all-time highs this week. And we are anticipating a correction. Now, we don't know how big the correction is going to be. What do you guys think the correction is going to be, by the way? What percent correction do you forecast personally from the market dropping? Okay, some people, boom, Christy, 60%, big, 70%. By the way, do you guys know what they're calling the current bubble? Do you guys know what they're calling it? We talked about the dot-com bubble, the subprime bubble. They're calling it the reset or the everything bubble. That sounds pretty dramatic to me. So think about, from the current valuations, where the market is right now, if we took an initial $5,000 investment and parlayed it into the market, and we got just a 20% drop. That $5,000 turns into $24,000 with those put options, and that is a 380% profit. Boom, just a 20% drop based off of the current valuations. Well, what if we got a bigger drop? What if the market did drop 50%, 60% like some of you are projecting? We still have that global debt crisis out there. And it's just interesting to me to play with the numbers. If we were to parlay $5,000 into that, and we got a 50% drop, didn't catch all of it, we got a 50% drop, that $5,000 turns into $68,000 based off of the forecasts and estimates. And that's a 1,260% ROI, okay? And that is mind-boggling to me, and it makes this, it's absolutely amazing. Life-changing opportunity here. Well, again, think for a moment. What if you had twice as big of a position or 3 times as much money And or same here, what if you had twice as much, 3 times as much, 10 times as much? I know for a lot of you, that's a huge potential. And I agree with you, Marcus. I'm afraid not to know this stuff too, because fear of missing out on this huge crisis opportunity, this dangerous opportunity ahead of us, it'll change your life if you let it. And I'm excited for the bear market. By the way, how many of you are excited for the bear market now? You're not just afraid, but you're also excited. Okay, how many of you felt some fear tonight? Some of you, yeah. I get a little scared when I talk about the numbers. It puts it into reality check for me. How many of you felt greed? I'm feeling it right now. It's a good feeling, isn't it? You know you can make some money here. Okay, so what's it going to take for us to take advantage of that opportunity? What's it going to take for us to get in and participate in the bear market? Well, you're going to need the right guidance and training. And so we have an offer here we're going to make for you guys that I'm so excited to bring to you. And again, this is a pretty unique product. This is a new product, the Bear Market Survival Guide. And by the way, how many of you guys have the cash flow, already are members of the cash flow condors? Or you're already members of the Tackle 25 group? How awesome are those programs? How awesome is the cash flow condors? It's awesome. How awesome is the mastermind group? Okay, I look forward to them. They're spectacular. So we've put together the same type of product for you for the Bear Market Survival Guide. And what's inside the proverbial box here, and what you're going to get, is 6.5 hours of interactive video training. All you can eat, 6.5 hours interactive video training. And there are 6 modules that are in this training. The first module is the history of the cycles. It goes back in depth and looks at our past, the history, the patterns, the conditioning, the contributing factors, how much the market corrected, and what that would have meant had we taken certain actions. The second module is fighting the bear market. And this is kind of the conventional wisdom information, what your financial planners out there would probably suggest you do. It's going to talk to you about cost averaging, and again, simple protective measures, how to liquidate positions, etc. Again, conventional wisdom, how to cover your assets. The third module is where I think Tyler just lays it all out there for you. He shows you how to buy protective puts on your individual securities. He shows you how to buy protective puts on the ETFs. He shows you how to calculate how much you need in protection for a mutual fund, so on and so forth. And again, the secret sauce is included. You get all the secret ingredients that go into that. Nothing's held back. The fourth module is my favorite module. Well, one of my favorite modules. I can't just play favorites. That's like playing favorites with your kids. But the fourth module is all about portfolio protection. It's how to protect your portfolio, your IRA, your trading account, even your mutual funds inside the 401k, what have you. Shows you how to calculate exactly how much insurance you need. It also talks about, again, how to use the covered calls to pay for the insurance. And then module 5 is essential. It's critical. How do you manage your portfolio once you put the insurance on? What if the market kept going up? Can we control and mitigate the risk and the cost of the insurance? Absolutely. And Tyler's going to show you exactly how to do that in the module. And module 6 is once we've got our assets protected, this is all the fun, clever stuff on how to make money in the bear market. I don't know if you guys have ever been through a bear market before. This next bear market is going to be my 3rd big bear market as a trader. I've already been through 2. And man, I wish I had had this information for the first 2. I mean, I knew what I was doing for the second one, but man, I am so much better prepared this time thanks to Tyler's training. And I have a good idea about how to manage my portfolio, and I'm excited to share that with you. You get all 6 modules. You get the survival guide manual. It's all printed out for you, all the information laid out, all the steps, processes, and formulas, so you can follow along. And then every module has interactive quizzes that have you test your knowledge, and then there's a final exam at the end. These are fun exams, and they're designed to make sure that you're really getting this now. And it's really helpful to go through and get that sound, that feedback, that you get the understanding, you picture it. And if you're ready to take action now, you're already sold, you can go ahead and click on the link we're going to provide here in the chat for tackletrading.com/get-BMSG Bear Market Survival Guide. So again, tackletrading.com/get-BMSG. And you can start getting yourself set up now. Now, there's more. Of course, there's more. Because we believe in bringing you guys just tremendous value. By the way, do you guys find a lot of value in what you get? You guys find a lot of value in what we provide for you with tackle trading, all the content, classes, training. We're so proud to bring it to you. You get lifetime access to the Bear Market Survival Guide. All you can eat, lifetime. You can go back and watch those videos over and over and over again. And if you know anything about us, you know that we like to underpromise and overdeliver. What about pro members? Well, pro members need to join up too, Adi, and get access to it. So this is not included with your existing pro membership. This is addition to. And when you sign up and register, you get access to all the content, the training, the recording, everything else there, but you also get access to the mastermind group. You get access to the mastermind group. And what happens in that mastermind group is like show and tell. And we're going to talk to you a little about what goes on in those mastermind groups. And a lot of you have already been in mastermind groups. You've been in the Tackle 25 mastermind group. You've been in the Cash Flow Condors mastermind group. And you get access to that monthly Bear Market Survival Guide team meeting. You get access to the mastermind group. And you're going to want to write this down. The first mastermind group is on September 19th at 8:30 Eastern. And that's enough time for you to get the program, go through the 6.5 hours of the video modules training, read through the manual, take the tests, and make sure you're prepared for that first mastermind group. And then we're going to be holding them every month after month in perpetuity. And you get to watch and learn as Tyler Craig illustrates exactly how to manage a portfolio and how to manage that protection in all markets, while the market's still bullish, while the market's neutral, while the market's bearish. You get to watch and learn practical application. You get those monthly updates. When you're a part of the group, you're in the conversation. You're among those who are with us. And you get all that key economic data, monetary policy, price indicators. We're talking about what's going on in the market at all times so that you see what we see, that we're all on the same page here, and we get that information to help us make better decisions, more informed decisions, and we get to do it as a group. You get real life examples of how to use powerful trading techniques in the bear market. You're going to learn how to do fancy trades that can help you control your risk and make a bunch of money on the downside, like back ratio spreads, and how to do debit spreads, and how to use credit spreads, and how to make money on the volatility. You're going to learn about all the different ways to make money in the bear market. And then the best part, in my opinion, is just getting to interact with the master himself, Tyler Grizzly Adams Craig. I mean, he is the bear whisperer, and you get to pick his brain every month and get access to that information. Now, when you're a part of the Bear Market Survival Guide team, we all get to benefit in perpetual, in perpetuity with that constant reinforcement and ongoing support. And again, that's lifetime access. So if you like what you're hearing and you're ready to move forward, you click on the link provided in the chat. Again, tackletrading.com/get-BMSG. And you might be asking, well, how much is all this going to cost? Well, here's the best part. This is a no-brainer. You get access to our special, again, the special offer here tonight, the Bear Market Survival Guide video series. You get the Bear Market Survival Guide manual. You get access, lifetime access to the training and the monthly mastermind group. And all of this is going to retail for $795. That's the regular price. But to thank you for being here tonight, we are giving you a special offer here. That special price is $300 off the retail price for just $495, and you have to use the promo code BEAR, all lowercase, B-E-A-R, that promo code BEAR. And when you click on that link, it opens up the Bear Market Survival Guide page, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now so you can see it. And let me move that forward here. Here's the page. When you click on the link, it opens up the Bear Market Survival Guide, and there's several calls to action for you here. You can click Buy Now. There's a little bit more information about what the Bear Market Survival Guide includes. Again, you can click Purchase Now. You can keep scrolling down. You get some little information on the Bear Market Whisperer, Tyler Craig right there. Get to know Tyler pretty well. Here's the limited time offer. Again, $495 when you use the promo code BEAR. And that's our special offer to you. And we have a countdown clock there showing you that that offer comes to an end. That is a limited time offer, really just for being here tonight with us. And we want to thank you for that. And as you scroll down here, you get to the order form. You can either click on any of the links. It brings this up, by the way. And you go down here. And to get that discount, you're going to want to type in, enter the coupon code down here. You guys see that? Okay. Enter the coupon code. You're going to type in BEAR. And when you type in BEAR, check this out. It is a beautiful thing. You get $300 off. Price comes down to just $4.95, and you're in business. And then what happens next is you get a welcome email, and you get the instructions on how to log in and access the training, and you can start accessing it right away. And then you get the steps and processes and invitations to the mastermind groups, and you're a member of that special group, the Bear Market Survival Guide. And again, after the offer ends, the price goes back up to $7.95. That's the regular price, and it's worth that price, in my opinion. So we really are excited to have you guys all out here tonight. And again, really want to thank you all for joining us. And I think this is just super exciting here. I'm going to reboot that just to get in, and that's just awesome. We got a lot of people popping in on this right now. That is awesome. That is fantastic. I'm already seeing activity on that. So again, make sure you use that coupon code BEAR. And then, as promised, by the way, we're going to interview Tyler Craig, the creator. It is a great offer. It really is. And you guys, I can't even tell you the amount of time and effort and energy that went into this. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of hours of collaborative effort, not just by Tyler, but by the whole team to bring this product to you at such a good price. And it's really a great value. So I want to bring Tyler in here and make sure he's got access to the mic. And you feel free to turn on your camera if you'd like to. Tyler, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Tyler, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. Welcome, Tyler. I got to tell you, I went through the training the last couple of weeks just to get myself prepped up to present it to people. And I already knew, I've already been through it. I participated with you in some of the creation process of this. But I got to tell you, Tyler, I was completely blown away by just the finished product. It's amazing. And I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Tyler, why on earth did you put in all the time and effort to create the Bear Market Survival Guide? What's going on in your head? What makes you feel like we need this Bear Market Survival Guide?
Well, can I first say, have you guys had fun tonight? As Noah's talking about this, I'm like, man, I gotta watch this thing. And I feel that way as the one who created it. Like, man, I gotta go back through this again. Like, you got me stoked, Noah. You did a really good job. Noah's fantastic. Much appreciated for him tonight. So why do we create this thing? I think that you guys can probably guess why we created this. We've been in meetings. A couple years ago, I can remember one. I was in a meeting with Noah and the rest of the team here at Tackle. We're talking about how rising interest rates often impact the stock market negatively. And that conversation started a process where we said, look, we got to get something out to the team here at Tackle Trading. We want our community to be prepared for the next bear market, right? Be able to protect their assets, be able to profit. And so we put our heads together and we came up with a fantastic product that I think you guys will be very pleased with.
I'm excited about it. And I want to bring Matt Justice in here while I'm interviewing you, just to make sure we have Matt on board with us. And just kind of get ready, because we want to hear from Matt as well. He's been kind of the chief executive officer here, kind of keeping us all on track to get this product out to you. And I want to bring Matt in here in a minute. But before I bring Matt in, I have another question for you, Tyler. Why now? Why not back in 2016 or 17, or why not next year? 2019, 2020. Why right now?
Two reasons. Okay, the first reason I'm going to blame on Matt. All right, you guys know Matt Justice, our CEO, passionate, love the guy, he's fantastic. He has a tendency of waiting to release things until he feels the markets are ripe, that market conditions warrant it. And I think based on everything Noah said tonight, we all will agree that now is the time to prepare, right? We don't want to release this after the market goes down 50%. Okay, market's gone up a long time for 10 years. So the time is ripe, okay? Second reason is, Noah mentioned, it's taken a long time, a lot of research, a lot of time and effort to bring forth a product that is worthy of my name, right? My name's on the product. And I wanted to make dang sure that the research was there, that the content was there, that the video quality was top notch. And I am very pleased with the product. And I think you guys, once you see it, you'll love it. And it took that long to get ready, Noah.
Well, and again, I've been participating with you in that process, and I've seen firsthand the amount of time and effort and energy and just care and just meticulous nature of the training. I can't tell you how awesome the finished product is. You should feel great about it. And I have one last question for you. As the creator of the Bear Market Survival Guide, what's your favorite part of the Bear Market Survival Guide, and what are you most excited about everybody here being able to take it and get access to?
So I've thought about this. It's like people ask me. I have three boys. Okay, I've got 3 little boys. I've actually got a 4th, something on the way. Girl or boy, don't know yet. All right.
I didn't know this. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah, that's really why we brought everybody out here. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm having another kid.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. So it's like, what's your favorite kid, right? I love everything about this. The videos are fantastic. But if I want to dote on one of the pieces of this video series, guys, these mastermind group meetings, you have lifetime access to these. So every single month, we get to meet, we get to talk about market conditions, we get to discuss how to protect portfolios, we get to call the topping process as it happens real time, right? Not just for a month, but for 10 months, for 10 years. I might be 75, I'm 33 right now. In 40 years, Noah, maybe we're going to be kicking it on these monthly mastermind group meetings, talking about the 10 bear markets we've traded through together.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's, I think, the exciting one. And I don't think that we're just going to have one bear market moving forward. I think we're going to see many in our lifetime. And I'm really excited about it. It's kind of weird to be all excited about the market crashing. It's kind of something that I think that I almost feel conflicted about, but not really. I think it's interesting just to know that we can make money on the drop.
Sure.
And it's really empowering. And I'm noticing people starting to buy. I'm actually seeing the pop-ups telling us people are buying. We had orders from El Paso, Texas. We had an order come in from Malaysia just a moment ago. If you watch the bottom left corner of my screen, you can actually see the orders popping up as people are processing it. And, I appreciate you coming in here, Tyler, and just spending the time with us tonight. And I really want to bring Matt Justice in and have him, come in and just, talk with us a little bit, share with us a little bit about his excitement and enthusiasm for this product. And again, just give you that personal invitation to take action. You with us, Matt?
No. Do you have my, is my audio on?
It's a little soft.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it should be. I had to rig some things together. Comcast went out in my neighborhood, and I'm hotspotting here in as Tim likes to say when we're doing the halftime report, coming from the bunker here. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm glad my audio's coming in a little bit. No, guys, I just want to say that we're so happy and excited about this for every single one of you. It's a system that is specific with rules and actions and basically, explaining exactly what you need to do in certain circumstances. And it's just something I'm so excited for. Guys, one thing that is important to me at Tackle, and you guys know this, I've talked to you guys, many of you are pro members already, is we truly want to create this for the masses. And, like I said, it's something that everybody can use. It's something that you can not only wait for the next bear market, because I also want you guys to realize something. What happens, like, for example, the market's been ridiculously bullish, right? But over the course of the last 10 years, you've had bear markets around the world. You've had bear markets in 2011. You had a flash crash in 2010. You had, in 2015, in August of 2015, you had a 10% decrease. In June of 2016, you had another 10% decrease. It's not just about that next bear market. It's really about understanding how to protect all of your asset classes, your individual stock positions, making sure you know how to make money, not only, shorting the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Russell as the market's going down, like we're doing right now with the emerging markets, as you guys over there at the halftime crew know, but making money in every single environment. I think the thing that I'm most excited for, though, is the video systems are amazing, but to think about it like this, guys. To be able to sit with the author of Bear Market Survival Guide every single month without any time restraints, to be able to navigate this next market in a system with a team who all who all do the same thing, who all understand the same rules. Guys, if we make money in that environment, what happens to you if we all do it together? We all share in that. And that's the beautiful thing. We all win in that environment. We all go make money in that environment. And this, to me, pricing it the way we have, obviously it cost us a tremendous amount more than that, guys. But I wanted to make sure that our team could not only afford it, but everybody could. And that's what I'm most excited about. It's not just about the people who have the money to, go get rich and have millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's about the masses. And that's what's important to me. It is the masses that need this education, that need this knowledge more than anything. And that's what Tackle Trading brings from a pro membership. That's what Tackle Trading brings from a system perspective. And we're very excited for that, guys. Every year you guys have been with us, I've said this, just wait till you see what we have in store for everybody. And this isn't the step one, obviously pro is, but this is another step in that chain. And guys, we got other things coming down the road. We have coaching coming down the road. We have personal growth coming down the road. We have so many amazing things coming for you as our community. And I will make you one promise. As CEO of Tackle Trading, I will always do right by our students. And if you guys have seen that from Tackle, that Tackle always takes care of its students, always takes care of its team members, give me a yes in the chat right there, because I'd appreciate that, because that's what we live for, is to make sure that it is about our team. And our team is not just the internal tackle team. It is everybody in our tackle community. And we will do anything we can to ensure the success of our students in every single capacity. And that is my promise to you guys.
That's pretty exciting, Matt. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. Just, the time and effort put into just coming together with the presentation and just thinking about the bear market survival guide and all the content in it. I was really just excited to be able to present this offer and to do so with just so much just pride, because I know it's a tremendous value. In fact, I honestly think we priced it too low. You and I should talk about that sometime. It's a good value. It's a really, really good value. And just going through the training alone was awesome. Being able to pause, write down, take notes. The interactive part of the quiz. I mean, just the quality of it, just getting to see Tyler Craig's smiling face on all the video. It's awesome. And then I'm so excited for the mastermind groups. I can hardly contain myself, because I have been doing this for a long time. And I'm also the type of person who knows that the more you learn, the more you can earn. And it's, to me, just continuing education. I learned from going through the bear market survival guide myself, and I'm a seasoned veteran. I mean, I've been at this for 20 years. It's not beginner stuff. I mean, it's easy enough for beginners, but there's really high quality content in there. Just speaks to my mind, Addy. I agree. It's awesome.
Well, and Noah, one of the things that is the most incredible part of the value is the lifetime access to the mastermind group. We're getting a lot of questions from people coming in saying, hey, can I benefit from this right now? Is this something for me? There's really not a debate in my mind. If it's something you can afford and you want to learn how to trade from a mentor and a coach and really learn about the bear market, I think it's a pretty incredible offer, So, I saw a lot of questions coming through. We answered quite a bit of the Q&A, but Noah, it's a really good one, even if you're a beginner. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And it's, easy enough for beginners. Having been through the training just recently, just to, again, kind of make myself prepped up for doing this presentation. I went through the whole thing last week, and I was blown away at how simple Tyler makes it. Just makes it so easy to understand. But it also, again, helped me understand things like sector rotation. Like, there are parts of the market right now that are bearish. Matt brought up Comcast. We could probably implement some of the stuff we learned here on Comcast and short that and make money. Not a suggestion to buy or sell Comcast, but we also know there's bear sectors. There's always a bear market somewhere. Right now, can you think of some sectors, Tim, that are pretty bearish right now?
Well, energy, it's been my number one bearish sector for a bit, definitely on a bear retracement pivot and starting to sell today, but the whole market was selling pretty much today. It recovered a little bit end of the day. I was posting on my Facebook today, Noah, and I'm not completely bearish on the market today, but I am very concerned about the fundamentals of this market. We've been talking about it for a long time, and it is the perfect time to be prepared for when that change happens. All the sectors are going to turn when the market turns. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely. And, it always starts somewhere. In fact, I don't know if people know this, but historically the markets crashed in September, October. So here we are, September 5th. And I know that if it not this year, maybe the market goes into a correction. I mean, we are overvalued. The market's been a little overbought. We're hitting these new highs. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we saw a correction September, October, and then the market got bullish again for the fourth quarter. But I also know that at some point in time, those rising interest rates are going to catch up with the market, and it's going to slow down spending. It's going to slow down borrowing. It's going to slow down the markets, and it'll help bring that top in. And I don't think that the markets, I mean, do you really think they actually solved any of the problems back from 2008, or did they just kick the can down the road?
Created bigger problems.
Massive debt crisis going on out there. I mean, if you go look at the debt clock and look at the just irresponsible spending and just the expansion of global debt, it leads me to believe that the next crash is going to be a doozy. And, for as much as that can keep people up at night worrying about the future, I really like knowing that I know exactly how to do it, being a part of that community, getting that constant update, having my finger on the pulse of the market so that I'm not just guessing on my own. Because, I've actually tried to predict the top of the market in the past, and I've done so, with some success. I've also missed it. And what I think would have been, and I wish we had this back when I went through the first bear market in 2000 and again in 2008, I wish we actually had a community. We didn't. We were all in our own trading silos, just trying to do the best we could. And again, a lot of us made money in the last crash, but I am so excited to be a part of a group and to just have that group think, and because I am better when I surround myself with more brain power than I have of my own.
Matt, we've had a bunch of people buy, about 40, 50 people buy so far. Give them some direction if they need some help getting logged in, because we have not perfected every bit of delivering all that kind of stuff. So just kind of give them some instruction in case they needed some help, in logging in and getting access to the system.
Hey, are you talking about Tackle Trading?
Yeah, right here. No, actually, in the webinar, we've had a lot of our attendees here tonight already purchase, and I just want you to give them some kind of direction for tonight, tomorrow, logging in, what to expect.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you're already a pro member of Tackle Trading, you don't need a unique username and password. If you are not a pro member of Tackle Trading and you want to be a part of Bear Market Survival Guide, you can still do that. Our systems will set up you an automatic username and password. That will come in our welcome email to you later on tonight if you have not already received it. So you should be receiving a couple emails today, one an invoice on your purchase. The second one would be just an overall welcome to the Bear Market Survival Guide team. We will also in the next few days also be sending you onboarding information. So we will do a special webinar next week for onboarding for all the new members of the Bear Market Survival Guide team. We will also be sending you a video email with that onboarding as well. And then it's a matter of really kind of going through the system in that first month, getting ready for the first mastermind group, which is in, I believe, 2 weeks from now. So our first mastermind group, guys, is in 2 weeks from now. We're ready to rock and roll with this. It's just a matter of you guys just making a decision whether or not you want to be a part of this. I want to call them the elite team. Elite team. I was going to say still Team 6, but that's not what this is.
You know that a group of bears, when they get together for like a feeding frenzy, it's called a bear sleuth.
Yeah, you kept trying to convince me of calling this.
I like the name. I just don't think I don't get it.
Serious.
Well, it's also a sloth or a sleuth, but if you say it with a British accent, like the guy on the Wild Kingdom, like here you can see the bear sleuth.
No, we are not calling them the bear sleuths. We are not doing it. I know you've wanted it for so long, but we are not doing that. We are calling them the Bear Market Survival Guide team. BMSG, baby, all the way.
A couple of questions actually from people who are asking about buying, Noah.
Yeah, I was going to ask those exact same questions, Tim.
And this is a good one. Matt from Tasha, and I met Tasha up in Seattle a couple of years ago. Really good student, young person, ambitious, driven. She says, I have a lengthy question. I'm very much a beginner. I've got a grasp of bare basics, trying to implement a consistent trading routine. Essentially a few other things in there. And then I have 3,000 to start with. Is this for me, or is another system more important for me? How would you answer, Tasha?
First of all, every trader, Tasha, that understands trading prefers trading in bearish conditions than bullish conditions. That's the first thing. And it's because of the speed of the market to the downside is so much faster. Think about it like this. It has taken over 9 years for us to appreciate what happened after 08, 09 crisis. It will take literally a year for that to go back down. What that means is taking that $3,000, let's say you know how to trade a bear market, you can do as well in 1 year trading bearish conditions than you did in 9 years trading bullish conditions. And I also want you to think about this, and for those of you who know me, you probably have heard me say this before, but in a bullish market, ladies and gentlemen, when you have the expansion in the economy, when you have the expansion of monetary policy, you literally have 100% of the participants in that economic system literally participate in the expansion of that. So over the course of the last, let's say 9 years, ever since we started QE in 09, you've had $4.7 trillion of new money coming into the market. You've literally had, and I'm not kidding here, $17 trillion in equity value into the stock market in the last 9 years. That is a whopping $28 trillion of either equity or new money come into the market in that time frame. 100% of the populace participates in that. Now, not equally, obviously. Some get through wage growth, some get through 401ks, some get through IRA appreciation, that type of stuff. But in a bear market, okay, and I want you to think about this, guys. In a bear market, you have the same transfership of money. And I heard Noah say this, the 08 market was the largest shift in financial wealth in American history. And he was right. That is only going to be surpassed by the next one. And then that one will be surpassed by the next one. And guys, this is a cycle for a reason. And only a small percentage of the United States populace and the world populace who trades in the US marketplaces understands how to make money in a bear market. So think about this from a competition perspective. If 100% of people make money or participate in the expansion of money in a bull market, all of a sudden only 3 to 5% of people know how to make money in a bear market. And ladies and gentlemen, Bear Market Survival Guide is part of that 3 to 5%. So all I'm going to say, guys, is let's go get that money. That's all I'm going to say. Never worry about the cost of something. Always see the value of something. And if you see the value of something, all I'm saying is let's go trade. Let's go make some money. Let's go have some fun. And we do
have some specific questions. I think people are seeing the value. There's no doubt. We're getting a great response, Matt. Keith Seiler, who is one of the more veteran students we've had. I met Keith in Miami a couple of years ago. And Tasha, by the way, I remember most of my students. I won't say all of them, but most people who I've met out there in those ballrooms, I do remember. Keith asked a very interesting question here, Matt. He says, Tim, would this system still be worth it if we've taken advanced classes? So Keith's been studying for a couple of years. Is this for somebody who's a veteran and a beginner?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Now, obviously, for somebody that has trading experience out there, right? For somebody that has that trading experience, there will be some of that as a review or a reminder. But you got to realize that this is a specific system where you take specific actions, and to the value of that individual, the veteran out there who's been trading, understands technical analysis, understands put options, understands protected put options, understands when to call it a trade, understands when to sell a call option to cash flow, those types of stuff. It will be a little bit of review, but the value comes into those mastermind groups, guys. I cannot say how important those mastermind groups are to any system out there. And so that's what I would say was the value. It's not just in that 6.5 hours of content that Tyler did in such an excellent way. It's being able to be with a team, understanding a system together, moving together in a team-like unison. That's the value of this. So I would say yes, for the veterans, for the rookies, for the pros, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I was an advisor on this system. Okay, I was an advisor on this system. I helped create this system, and I'm going to tell you something right now. I learned something from Tyler.
I agree that you did advise on the system, but I think Tyler and Noah and myself would not call somebody who's calling the shots the advisor. I will say that.
I'm the advisor. I am. That's who I.
Tyler, is that how you would describe Matt, an advisor?
Yeah, I reach out to him when I want to hear from him. Otherwise, I just he'll put him in the back corner.
Yeah. That's exactly how tackle trading works, right there, guys. I just sit back and let everybody else do it. So, but no, my point remains. I learned something from Tyler, and working with this team, Tim, Christian, Jessica, Mark, Noah, Tyler, and I hope I don't miss out on anybody else out there. But for those that really kind of came together over the last couple of years to put this together, I mean, my goodness, guys, it was such an amazing journey, and I am so pleased with the progress, and I'm so pleased with what this turned out to be. And guys, this thing is going to get better and better and better, because you guys know that we're not afraid to admit our mistakes, and we're not afraid to correct them, and we're going to get better and better and better and better. I love this system. It's a great thing. Let's go get, like I said, let's go get that money.
Let's wrap it up in like 4 minutes. Let's get the link out there one more time. And Jagar has a question. Then I'll go to you, Noah. He asked Tyler, how many pages is the manual? Tyler, I know you beefed up that PDF and really put together a pretty amazing manual. How long is that thing?
It's 45 pages.
Yeah, it's
a book.
Rock solid. Yeah, it's rock solid.
Yeah. All right. No, hey
Tim.
Yeah, I
just wait for the personal guide. Just wait till the personal gold book.
Listen, I have War and Peace on my bookshelf. I don't know if I can.
It might rival War. I'm not kidding. You guys, everybody keeps saying, "Hey, Matt, put out personal gold. Put out personal gold." I'm like, I'm waiting for gold to turn to gold and silver, and the commodities to turn bullish, and that's only half the truth. The other half is that book is going to be one of the best books I've ever put out there. And Bobby Shannon, who's the lead writer on that book, me obviously from the system designer perspective, but I mean, we're already at 90 pages and I haven't even added any screenshots to I mean,
I'll be honest.
Matt, just so you know, a book doesn't have to be long to be good and full of all the details you need.
You keep telling me that.
I know, short and sweet and to the point. I like to watch videos. Reading the book for me is just about having it in written format.
I have 90 pages of evidence. Guys, I got a lawyer's background. I'm laying out the evidence of making my case on gold. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody out there that says gold is not a hedge against currency, they are going to regret that in time. It's coming, and it's coming soon. Chuck, current projection is late October, early November for personal gold, Chuck.
And Matt, some last minute questions about how long the offer is valid. I'm sure there are some people in our webinar tonight that want the system. I mean, guys, if you're still here right now, you want this system, right? I mean, everybody out there who wants to be BMSG, bear market, hashtag put options, hashtag money, something. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people interested that have not pulled the trigger yet. How long do they have? What is the offer here? Let's be clear.
7 days. We knew people. We had contacted, we were contacted by a tremendous amount of people who could not make the webinar tonight, really wanted to be a part of it, all of that jazz. And we wanted to make sure that they had enough time to get their ducks in order and all that jazz. And, so we decided to give people 7 days on that coupon code. So obviously there's a time when we put the countdown. We did. There you go. We did put the countdown there on the webpage, but people have until next Wednesday to get the discount. And Noah's right. It's $7.95. It's still at $4.95. It's ridiculous. But
Matt, can I say something real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead, Gino.
So I've been through a few bear markets, as you know, and I'll tell you the last one was my favorite because I was prepared. But here's the thing: the first two that I went through cost me a heck of a lot more than $7.95.
That's true.
My third trade cost me a lot more than $7.95.
And I'll tell you guys, here's the thing: is every trader, the bigger your account gets, the bigger your fear gets if you don't have insurance, and that's not what you want to build up. You don't want to build up I'm going to quit my job and be a trader full time, and life is going to be great. Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting more scared as my account gets bigger. You have to have insurance. Period.
To me, anybody who has a retirement account, this is a no-brainer. More important than the greed part of it. I know we talked about making money on the bear market, and there are many examples, and I want you guys out there doing that. But if you got 50 or 100K in a 401k, Matt, this is a no-brainer to start getting prepared for that next change. I love the system. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of what you guys have done here tonight. Noah, you did a fantastic job. I got to tell you publicly. That was really
I had a lot of fun doing this, and just getting prepped up for it just got me excited about it. We've had quite a few orders come in, and I understand there's been a little bit of server overload. So,
49 so far, guys. This Bear Market Survival Guide team is going to be rocking and rolling. I'm so excited about it. I did have a question come across very quickly. We're going to stay with you guys as long as it takes for you to answer all your questions.
Yeah.
Got another question from you guys. It said, I purchased the Bear Market Survival Guide. I'm ready to watch it right now, but it's not working, and they weren't logged in. So make sure you're logged into Tackle Trading so that it works. But yeah, so just make sure you're logged in.
Yes, and as a backup, and you always got to have a backup plan, if you have any trouble logging in, we've got customer support. And guys, if you know us well, we put a lot of time into customer service and care. We've got people on staff that are working all night here. Well, not all night. They're going to get some sleep at some point. But they're there to answer questions and help people get logged in.
Our European team, they're
it's like 4 in the morning.
Like 3 in the morning right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm dead serious here, guys. We have 2 members of our team right here that are that you guys might not know, but they are so integral in what we do at Tackle. Christian Sisson, Jessica Marino. Both of them are in Europe right now. They live in Europe, and they're hanging out with us to make sure you guys are getting everything. Jess, Christian, you guys are the best. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for everything you do at Tackle to make sure everything we do gets out there in a professional manner, I would say.
I agree. There's one, and Gino, you might be able to answer this one. I actually don't know how to answer it. Zisheng Wong says, billing state, I can't select a Canadian province. Do you know if we have a way to help people if they're in Canada buy this thing?
Yeah, it's called Bitcoin. Let's get this going. Come on. We'll figure it out, guys.
We will figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We have a lot of Canadian clients. Obviously, we use our service in Canada as well. So if you have a problem with it tonight, we'll figure it out.
Zisheng, if you have a problem tonight, send us an email at team@Tackle Trading. I will have somebody give you a call, and we'll figure it out with you, okay?
So another question that came in, Matt, that I don't want to miss is, and this is something I think Tyler can speak to too, will the mastermind groups be recorded and we'll be able to catch the replays?
Yes, everything we do, guys, at Tackle is recorded because we know we put out a tremendous amount of material out there. I mean, at our pro membership, guys, every single week we're doing 10, 15 webinars every single week for our pro membership, not including all the mastermind groups and whatnot. And we know that, people have busy lives and they can't attend. So absolutely, we record everything, guys. We post it to the website literally less than 30 minutes after we're done. You have access to it right then. And if you'll show them, the Bear Market Survival Guide, I don't know if you have it, but the Bear Market Survival the mastermind group page, every time we put a webinar on, there will be just another link to it, and you'll have access to all of them. So if you miss anything, you can go back and watch it. If you didn't catch everything, you can go back and watch it. Everything will be recorded.
Yep, absolutely. And then to access the courses from the homepage, you just go to courses. You go to the Bear Market Survival Guide. Once you've signed up and paid for it, that permission will be given. And you simply click on it, and it logs you right in. The servers are running real slow right now because everybody's logging into it. Yeah. And but it pops up, and then bam, you got a really nice, simple, easy to go through. Yes.
When we launched Cash Flow Condors a couple years ago, we ran into a problem like this as well. And I literally saw you ask our web designer, Constantine, to make sure we could handle the demand tonight. And well done, everybody. Let's crash these servers. That's what I want. I want to crash the servers. Let's do it.
Well, we did run into some server delays even after we expanded the server capabilities.
Are you trying to jinx us, by the way?
No, not at all. Not at all.
If you ask for Tim, our audience to crash the servers, I am going to hurt you.
Well,
like that.
It was either them all signing up or my magnetic personality. electronic equipment. It was going to happen regardless.
I'm going to get yelled at for that one, but I'll take it on.
Yeah,
I'll take it on the show.
What's wrong with you? Oh my goodness. I will tell you this, and my last, and not last thought, I mean, Matt, you're right. We'll be here as long as we can and to help people make sure everybody gets set up. And we might be missing a Q&A question here or there in the chat, guys. It's going pretty quick, so don't be afraid to ask it again. The one thing I would just say, guys, is if you know our team, you know, we do what's right by our clients, and we also put out great products. And we're all very proud of this. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. Obviously, you don't have to purchase this at this second. If you know that you want to do it, don't worry about it. Just do it. But if you want to think about it, you can do it in the morning. You can do it tomorrow. We're here to help you. We're here to make sure.
You know what I love about tackle trading, guys, is we're here to promote a new system and whatnot. And the tackle coach, like, you know what, guys, just do it tomorrow. It's good.
I don't. As long as we help them.
It's good.
You know, honestly, that's
good. Yeah. I think that's worse than crash the servers comment.
Hey, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
Oh, but no, guys. You know, Tim's right though. If you're busy tonight, and you need to come back tomorrow. Just you know, let us know if you have any problems. Hit us up at Team of Tackle Trading. Hit us up in the halftime report tomorrow. Hit us up on Twitter or any million different ways you can get in touch with us. But I promise you guys, we're going to honor everybody that wants to purchase over the next week, regardless of what happens.
Well, and even if you can't, you know, pull the trigger right now for whatever reason, and you do end up having to pay full retail price $795, I wouldn't even think twice about that either, because it's a tremendous value at $795. The $495 promotional price, again, that's just to thank you guys for being a part of our community, for the, you know, the inaugural launch here. I know it's been a while since we've launched a new product. I know a lot of you have already seen the quality of what we have with like the cash flow condors, the Tackle 25 system. And, you know, I honestly can't just, I'm so excited about that September 19th. First inaugural Bear Market Survival Guide team, you know, mastermind group.
Hey, no, let me answer a few of the questions that are coming in here. Emily, will I be able to understand if I haven't traded options yet? Yes, Emily, you can. There's many different ways to protect, not just with options, but we will certainly talk about that in every single one of the mastermind groups. Also, Emily, if you are a pro member of Tackle Trading, you do have access to Options 101. And I don't know if we, how many videos at our YouTube channel do you guys think we have on options? 500? Yeah. I mean, so Emily, we'll make sure to point you in the right direction if you need any more assistance, and we're very, very helpful in that capacity. Will I be able to apply it at your current 401k? It depends on how your 401k is structured. And if you're invested in mutual funds in your 401k, very hard to protect a mutual fund within a 401k. So we at Tackle Trading, we don't recommend mutual funds. We recommend ETFs in that capacity. But even if you're at a 401k, this is something that you can apply in a margin account. We might need to get one opened up, but you'll be able to apply it in some capacity, even if it's just to know when to go cash in a 401k, guys.
Well,
just think about
I think we should bring Tyler in on that, because Tyler, you actually have some content in there about how if they're in a 401k to cross hedge that, right?
Yeah, the answer is yes. You won't be able to buy puts in the 401k, but in the video series, I show you how to deal with that situation.
You know what was really cool about that, Tyler, is when I watched you break that down, that's not something I had done before. And it was really fun for me to see you walk people through. Even a beginner you could go through and see what was in the fund. And you showed them how to manually tabulate like a beta weight for it and to estimate how much insurance they needed. I thought it was extremely informative. And you made me think about those people who still have money in that 401k and are contributing to the 401k that want to be able to protect that. I thought that was the perfect piece inside the training for that. And again, you do need to open up the margin account and know exactly which options to buy, but it shows you exactly how to determine how many you need. And if you could take those steps and protect your 401k, it's kind of a no-brainer. Now, of course, you can also do that for your IRAs and other things. But I thought that was one of the coolest features of the Bear Market Survival Guide, because I know a lot of our students out there have the 401ks. And one of the other questions that came in that I thought was a good question was, well, I haven't had a mentor yet. Do I need to have a mentor first before I get the Bear Market Survival Guide, or is that something I can just do now?
Do now.
Yeah, guys, you got to understand the way this was created. You could come into this not knowing anything, and you would leave with a tremendous understanding as to how bear markets work and how to apply it. And so you're not going to leave this thinking, well, that was great. Now I need 5 other things to know how to do it. It's all encompassing. Everything you need to know is in the box.
Yeah, I agree with that as well, guys. A couple other questions I want to hurry and quickly touch upon. One asked about username and password. If you're a pro member, you don't need a separate username and password. You can just log in with your normal username and password. If you are a non-pro member of Tackle and want access to Bear Market Survival Guide, we will send you in one of our first emails after purchase of the Bear Market Survival Guide a unique username and password to you there. Next, a couple other questions from John. When are we ever going to be? It was called Theta Fate, John, and we offered it one time. It was a great product, but it wasn't our product. And so when that licensing agreement expired, we kind of moved on from that. It was a great system, no doubt about that. You know, a couple other ones. Could you repeat? Already did that, Joe. Let's see, Emily. They'll pay for yourself with a few trades, no doubt about that. Thank you for that. Is pro membership required? No, it is not. Pro membership is not required for lifetime access to the BMSG Mastermind Group. So if you are a non-pro member and you want access to BMSG, you have lifetime access to BMSG to that. That is unique to BMSG. And that's all the questions we have so far.
You know, one last thought for me, Matt, is one of the most important indicators of somebody's success when they're a student at anything is if they have a live team of people like coaches and mentors that are there to help them. And guys, if you ever question that, just look at all the talking heads up here on top of your webinar screen. We're here to help you. You're going to love the system. I'm very proud of it. Tyler, great job. Noah, great job. Matt, great job. Gino, great job. Cam, great job. I'm going to go take care of my dog. Poor thing, Matt. She is in some pretty big pain tonight. Yeah.
Well, you go take care of Sadie. She's been a great dog for you.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for everything. Once again, we will send out a recording of this so you can catch it again. Awesome job by you guys. Noah Davidson, fantastic job. Tyler Craig, you are amazing, and you're going to mentor these guys in the mastermind group every single month. Thank you for coming out with us here, guys. Get a part of Bear Market Survival Guide, guys. If you're not going to do it tonight, do it tomorrow, do it the next day, but get a part of it. In 2 weeks, we got our first mastermind group. I want you guys to be watching those videos in preparation for that mastermind group in 2 weeks, guys, and let's go have some fun. Like my good friend Bo Moody always says to me, Matt, rock, flag, and eagle. Let's go get it done. So let's go get it on, guys. Great job tonight, guys.
Hi, Matt. I got one last comment to make here.
Yep.
It's just like the kiss goodbye. If you wait too long, you're going to miss it. Just take action. And if you're still here, just take action.
Take action, guys.
Care of you. There's nothing to be afraid of, especially when you got that entire team surrounding you. And get excited about the bear market. I think it's a tremendous opportunity here. And if you have additional questions that we're not able to answer for you tonight, just hit us a message at team@tackletrading.com. You can chat us up in the clubhouse. We'll answer any questions that you have and help you make that move forward. Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure being with you tonight. I had a lot of fun with it too.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the halftime report, the coaches shows, Bear Market Survival Guide, and everything else we do. And guys, for those of you who are now a member of the Bear Market Survival Guide, welcome to the team, guys. Let's go get it on.